Good afternoon, Patriots. Love you guys. Hope everybody's having a happy Monday. I don't know if, you know, everybody loves Mondays, but I like Mondays. So it's just the start of a week and you want to get through it. What's up, the bodyguard? What is up? I'm hoping you're having a good start to your week. Um, right before the weekend, I had said that this book here, for any patriot, any American, even Democrats, you should read it. This book. And I have two kittens playing in the background. So if you hear happy bells, it's because even the kittens are having happy times. Kittens don't even know it's Monday, but we won't tell them. And I got you're 10 miles from Palestine. God bless. I hope all is good, and chalk it up in the comments if you want to show some love to Ohio. Please do. As far as the war, it's above my pay grade over in Ukraine, so I don't get into that. But I'm going to give you a little teaser. All right. Yo, man, what's up, Max? I'm going to give you a teaser of there's 45 things that communist, socialist, Marxists wanted to do to our country before they could take us over. And my prayers to you, bodyguard. All right. 45 things. Now, if you look at an updated book, because I did look online to see updates, this was published in 55, I believe, and it was brought to Congress and everything. So I highly recommend you get this book on Amazon, white cover. Do your research and read it. It's scary. It gives you the whole history of the socialist movement. All right, because they're here. I hate to tell you, World War III is here, and it's probably more techno than it is guns and all that. So anyway, what I plan on doing is a lot of sessions of breaking this book down. And I think one good way is to have a teaser of the 45 things. Now I'll show you. They're right here. And it says the current communist goals. All right, so it starts here. Now there's also, per statement, they go into the next chapter of breaking it down a little bit, which I will do, probably like 4 or 5 at a time. But there's 45 of them. I believe there's actually 48 of them. The last 5 to 10, maybe even the last half of them, you're going to be like, oh dear Lord, that's exactly where we're at. This is the book you buy and tell your mom or dad or friend that is totally thinking you got orange brain disease, because really they do, that we're not in a situation. Because we're in a situation, folks, whether you like it or not. I.e., even take a look at what the media just did to the Dilbert creator, and I'll do a different video on that, on my opinion. But I'm sure you've seen that Dilbert has been canceled due to I guess I was watching the live stream actually. Don't want to mention his name yet, because if you watch him, you already know what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do today, real quick, is I'm going to read you the 45 things of what the communists want to do to America. All right? If I get taken down from this, if you see this not on a replay, then you're going to know, yeah, Dilbert, gone. Dilbert, actually, I'll say it real quick, about maybe 10 to 12, check into it for me, but 10 to 12 immediately went to the syndication company and said, we're out, we're gone, we're done. So the creator of Dilbert is not in charge of which paper signs up. What it is, as a matter of fact, watch his replay today. All right, it's Scott Adams. So watch his replay today. But the syndication company is the one that handles calendars, photos, artwork being signed up to the papers. So they got enough pressure from newspapers dropping Dilbert out that they said, he got a notice a couple days ago or over the weekend saying, after 20 some plus years, Mr. Adams, we can no longer, we're taking too much heat. And he actually says, I don't know. I don't, put it this way. In context, I understand what Scott Adams was doing. All right. So what I do support is the free speech either way, because that's above my pay grade. I'm not a psychologist, not even a hypnotist. I'm not a cartoonist. I am a musician and songwriter. I'm a carpenter and a chef. So I know all that. And I'm a, YouTube influencer, I guess you want to call it, and TikTok and all of them. What Scott Adams did was he said what couldn't be said enough so that there something boils up and it does start being either exposed, talked about, solved, all that stuff. So that's as far as I'll go with that. I've watched him for years, so I'm probably one of his first people that watched him. I can tell you he did something that many can't afford to do, and that was get the conversation going. And sometimes you have to take the sword to look at all of us, especially patriotic influencers. We're all walking on eggshells in order to try to get our message of, I believe in God, man, woman, child, God, that type of thing. So, anywho, I'm going to read you these 45, and I'm just going to go through them. I'm not going to talk about them. I'll just go down the list. So that way you know what's coming up in futures. And please hit some likes. Give me some roses, some diamonds. I need my jewelry. The last live I did was incredible. Although the viewership was down, the audience and the gifts felt real. Like I felt like I had a small audience instead of a bigger audience that's just coming in and to troll and do all that. So last one was pretty much a really good success. So if I don't say hi to some of you guys, I hope you just like, subscribe, spread this. And if you get this book, read it, please. And then pass it on to a friend that might need it, or a friend that is on your team but needs to have some info to back them up. So, and some of these in the beginning are probably a little bit more above my pay grade too, but I will break it down in later videos. So here we go. The current communist goals. I'll go through 1 through 10 and then take a breath. First, number 1, U.S. acceptance of coexistence as the only alternative to atomic war. Number 2, U.S. willingness to capitulate in preference to engaging in atomic war. Number 3, develop the illusion that total disarmament by the United States would be a demonstration of moral strength. Number 4, this is a good one, permit free trade between all nations, regardless of communist affiliation and regardless of whether or not items could be used for war. Number 5, extension of long-term loans to Russia and Soviet Union. Number 6, provide American aid to all nations regardless of communist domination. Number 7, grant recognition of Red China, admission of Red China to the UN. Now this is pre-NATO. Set up East and West Germany as separate states in spite of Khrushchev's promise in 1955 to settle the Germany question by free elections under supervision of the UN. Remember that one. Number 9. Sorry about that. Prolong the conferences to ban atomic tests because the U.S. has agreed to suspend tests as long as negotiations are in progress. Number 10. Allow all Soviet satellites individual representation in the UN. Now that's weird too, because a Soviet satellite meaning like there are countries around them and stuff that kind of buy into their thing, but the Soviets don't want any NATO on their borders. And that's what's, I'm thinking is one of the problems over in Ukraine. And again, I say, I don't want any wars, so I pray for anybody dying in that proxy war. And no matter how you feel about it, it's above my pay grade, and all I do is pray that it ends and people are just stop suffering. So let's continue. Promote the UN as the only hope for mankind. You get that, NWO? If its charter is rewritten, demand that it be set up as a one world government with its own independent armed forces. And then in parentheses it says, see, communist leaders believe that the world can be taken over as easily by the UN as by Moscow. Sometimes these two centers compete with each other as others they are now doing in the Congo. So this is dated, okay? The Congo, we're not doing anything right there. All right? So, hey, happy Black History Month. I love that. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Definitely down with that. Number 12, resist any attempt to outlaw the Communist Party. So they can change everybody else, but don't change them, right? Do away with all loyalty oaths. That's huge. That's like, what you used to say when you stood in class in the morning, okay? Continue giving Russia access to the U.S. Patent Office. And that's happened. Now remember, this isn't, America didn't write these 45. This is coming from the outside, plus who was in there. And believe me, before 1945, there was communists within our government, okay? We're up to 15 now. Capture one or both of the political parties in the United States. Use technical decisions of the courts to weaken basic American institutions by claiming their activities violate civil rights. That was number 16. Number 17, get control of the schools. Use them as transmission belts for socialism and current communist propaganda. Soften the curriculum. Get control of the teachers' associations. Put the party line in textbooks. Now, we're only at number 17 there. But this was written in 1955. Okay? 56 somewhere. All right. Number 18. Get control of all student newspapers. Ho, ho, ho. Dear Lord. Is it really the students' news? Yes, really. All right. Use student riots to foment public protests against programs or organizations which are under communist attack. Number 20. We'll get there. We're almost there. Infiltrate the press. Get control of book review assignments, editorial writing, and policy making positions. 21. Gain control of key positions in radio, TV, and motion pictures. And yes, if I didn't, here's the book, in case somebody was wondering what I'm doing. All right. It's called The Naked Communist by W. Cleon Skousen, written in 1955, that was brought to our Congress. Okay. All right. So, 22. Continue discrediting American culture by degrading all forms of artistic expression. An American communist cell was told to eliminate all good sculpture from parks and buildings, substitute shapeless, awkward, and meaningless forms. This is let's just say this is pre-1960 this was written. All right? 24. Eliminate all laws governing obscenity by calling them censorship and a violation of free speech and free press. 25. Break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography and obscenity in books, magazines, motion pictures, radio, and TV. 26. Present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity as normal, natural, and healthy. Fascism. Yeah, that's right, Mushroom Barbie. Go look up what fascism is. It's exactly, if you're deflecting, you're probably an NPC right now, or a bot. All right. 27. Infiltrate the churches and replace revealed religion with social religion. Discredit the Bible and emphasize the need for intellectual maturity, which does not need a religious church. 28. Eliminate prayer or any phase of religious expression in the schools on the grounds that it violates the principle of separation of church and state. This document, Emu, is from The Naked Communists. I'll put a link if I can for you. All right. And I'm not talking about red and blue. So you guys can do all you want, the trolls in here, and talking about red and blue. What I'm talking about is communism versus patriotism. All right. That's all I'm talking about. I don't care about Democrats and Republicans right now. I'm talking about the overtaking of our country. All right. Let's see. Discredit the American founding fathers. Present them as selfish aristocrats who had no concern for the common man. Belittle all forms of American culture and discourage the teaching of American history on the ground that it was only a minor part of the big picture. Give more emphasis to Russian history since the communists took over. Okay? So, and remember, this is pre-1960, so I didn't just pull this out and somebody wrote it today. This is like a Nostradamus of the Marxist, communist, socialist attack. All right? So, support any social movement that gives centralized control over any part of culture, education, social agencies, welfare programs, mental health clinics, etc., etc. Eliminate all laws or procedures that interfere with the operation of the communist apparatus. 34. Eliminate the House Committee on Un-American Activities. Wow. Wow. Discredit and eventually dismantle the FBI. Now, what they're doing with the FBI is making them look like we want to, like they used to sort of go after the criminal and protect the American. Now, the ABCs, the alphabets don't look like they have us in their best interest. Infiltrate and gain control of more unions. Infiltrate and gain control of big business. Transfer some of the powers of arrest from the police to social agencies. Treat all behavioral problems as psychiatric disorders, which no one but psychiatrists can understand or treat. That's tricky. Dominate the psychiatric profession and use mental health laws as means of gaining coerced control over those who oppose communist goals. Number 40. Discredit the family as an institution. Encourage promiscuity and easy divorce. Okay? Hit me with the likes if you can. Thank you. Remember, I'm not hating, man. I love our that we can have a red and blue and debate it. But we're so overtaken that this is the book that just lets the people on the other side or us gain knowledge. So if you don't read it, don't. If you buy it, you will sit and you won't put it down. It gives you the whole history of the mid-1800s of how all this came to birth through Marxism all the way to today. So here's the final five. Number 41, emphasize the need to raise children away from the negative influence of parents. Attribute prejudice, mental blocks, and retarding of children to suppressive influence of parents. Are you kidding me? Keep liking it, please. Keep liking it. And spread this. And diamonds are a guy's best friend. So are roses. I really like roses. All right. Create the impression that violence and insurrection are legitimate aspects of the American tradition, that students and special interest groups should rise up and use united force to solve economic, political, or social problems. This is number 43, overthrow all colonial governments before native populations are ready for self-government. That means, I think even if we were to have a divorce of the nation, and more than that. 44, internationalize the Panama Canal. That's one I got to actually do some studying on. I don't even understand that one. But that was number 45. And the last one, repeal the Connolly Reservation so the U.S. cannot prevent the World Court from seizing jurisdiction over domestic problems. Give the World Court jurisdiction over nations and individuals alike. So those last two, I got to kind of also do my own research. And I'm just telling you, I read this book 1.5 times, and I still am trying to bring it all in. The people thank you for the likes, guys. I see it. You're bombing me. This is awesome. If I hit 1.4 thousand likes, That's good for me because I'm new at this. If you don't know me by now, I try to in my videos, I try to point out the obvious things. Sometimes in memes that are funny, sometimes memes that are truthful. In my lives, I try to just find more people that love me and that I can love back. I don't care what you do in your own house as long as it doesn't hurt children. I don't care if you're black, white, tan, red, yellow, green, purple, white, or gay or straight. None of that bothers me. I love all of you that way. My biggest thing is if you're doing something illegal, something to hurt somebody, or you're real, and honestly, I mean, next to hurting people like in old folks' homes, uh, it's children. They need to be protected and educated well, and we do need to make sure parents are there and doing the right thing. But other than that, I'm good. Call it, yeah. I'm telling you. Listen, whatever the booster gold, you're bringing up stuff that isn't false. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when all that happened, well, Rome did it. Germany did it. Russia did it. Every conquering country does that stuff, and it's not right. But it's been a part of the human race that we do those things. What America did for the first time 200 years ago, 250 years ago, they tried to figure out a way that a whole mass group of people can hang out with the least amount of government without going around killing each other. And if you did kill each other, then you were held responsible. Was there tweaks to it that people saw around? Of course there was. But we were the first country. We were the first country to write that style of constitution. That's why I am who I am. I love our Constitution. Masks take away freedom. Vaxxes take away freedom. Meanwhile, actual freedoms are having their rights. Yeah, I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. Listen. This is a book that when I read it wasn't a confirmation book. It was definitely taught me. I learned more things out of there than confirmed me. But I can't lie and say there is no confirmation there. All right? What's completely false? I don't know what you're saying. But you guys, you got me over the 1,500 likes. And each time I come back to this, now I'm going to go way back to the first 5. America wasn't found. It was stolen by disgusting people. All right. You're allowed. Dude, that's your vibe, man. That's your vibe. That's okay. I'm cool with it. I'm cool. I appreciate the way you feel. If that's your version of it, that's fine. Do I understand that a lot of that happened? Of course. But that, you can't, if you live in the past that long, every tomorrow you have is just going to be hate. Right now, I think between 2010 and 2014 was some of our greatest. What street vibes? It's not a vibe, it's a fact, not my version, it's history. I'm not saying that your version of history is false. All I'm talking about is, okay, tell me this. Street vibes, are you a patriot? Yes or no? Hit me up, Street. Are you a patriot? Hit me. Oh, I got me a rose, man. What's up, Eggs? Thank you. Where is it? You collecting that socialism check? Not me. You're not a patriot. Okay. That's awesome. That makes me even feel better about how you feel. And I respect that. I'm cool with that. Absolutely cool with that. So cheers to you. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate the honesty. That's fantastic. Not everybody can be a patriot. Not everybody can be a socialist. But there's a lot of people that want socialism. It's patriot. When I talk about a patriot, it's about the people that died for our country from the start of having an army to all the way to knowing that we were founded on a good foundation and we have to build upon it. What we see today doesn't remind me of, and I'm not talking about just you your opinion. What I'm talking about is seeing like the censorship, the free speech, taking our guns away, having small government. That's the type of stuff. That's the type of stuff I believe in. I believe in religion. You know, I'm not the greatest Bible pounder at all. I don't do that. I don't do that. All I do is try to make sure that America is still the #1 country for freedom. No, my guns weren't taken away. They're coming. They want them taken away. I'll ask you, Booster. Booster, do you own a gun? I have been censored. Oh, huh. I've been censored. Booster, do you own a gun? I just want to know. They've been coming for 49 years. 49 years. Why such an odd? Why 49? That's all right. That's all right. Well, look. Do yourself a favor. Come and try it, he said. Read the book. Read the book. Do you want people teaching your children or manipulating your children in school? I want them teaching. I want them to be ready to be a nice young adult, getting ready to go out in the world and work hard. Right? Do you want your wife to be at home alone while you're out working a night shift and not be? There's nothing wrong with homeschooling. There's nothing wrong with homeschooling. I've already let my children know a little bit of it. And that's your right. You can school them any which way you want. I'm sure really bad groups teach their children at home what they believe in. And I'm sure really good groups have homeschooling and teach what they believe in. It's all subjective there, man. If you're teaching them to be kind, work hard, and if you don't love a God or God, then there's you don't have to worry about that. Homeschooling's good. If you get the children out and off their phone and get them to, mingle and be with people. Like this weekend, my daughter had a lot of friends over. And they were just having a good time, balling it up. They went down to the park and hung out. A lot of times you don't see that, right? A lot of times you don't see that. So all I wanted to do with reading those 45 off real quick is I'll break them down into 3 to 5 sections and talk about it. And there's a lot of people that hit me up behind the scenes that said they really want to do it or they're going to buy the book. So I mean no malice to you guys. If you trolls want to come in here and tell me about your stuff, I love it. I love it. If you're just an NPC, well, then you didn't know. You didn't hear me. Why buy? Hey, Shelly, I try to keep it real, man. I keep everybody. Street, you're not even in the U.S. because of the poison. All right. And that's why I'm doing this. To reveal some of the poison. I can't fault anybody if they don't respect, the flag and the Constitution, God, their wife or husband, making sure their children are right for the world, all that. I can't fault anybody for that because that's the book they're writing. The book I'm writing is what you see live, man. I'm real. And I don't hold hate to anybody, man. What's up, Sofa King? Sofa King, you're one of my first friends, man. I'm glad you popped in here, man. You're awesome, dude. Todd, I don't know how you do it, but you definitely hit my videos fast. Socialism, what is it? Damn it, Randy. What's up, Randy? Socialism is literally wage theft. Wow, that's pretty deep. Wait, let me see. I'm not a troll, just saying my 2 cents. Street, I'm cool with it. I get people that call me a big fat bearded man. That don't bother me either. But if you want to dumb luck, that's cool. I don't care if it's dumb. I don't even know how to announce that I'm going live. It's just I have to, between everything I'm doing, I have to go live when I can go live, right? I appreciate the follow, Street. And I hope, Street, we can hang out longer. And I hope you come on the lives. I hope you do some research. Maybe you get the PDF version and start breaking this down and try to find problems with it. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And I'm also good if you call me fat. You know, nobody did here. I'm cool with that. You guys have been great, man. And you got me over like 1,800 likes. That's a record. That's an absolute record, man. So keep tapping that like. Keep, sending me some love. Damn it, Randy. I like saying that. Damn it, Randy. That's a good name. I am also a big, fat, bearded man. I just think socialism is a horrible solution. It is. It is. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You can take you can get out of high school, and I taught my son this. You can get out of high school, and you can get a hot dog cart, or you can spend the money and go to college. But you can go get that hot dog cart and be really damn good at it and make a lot of money and buy another hot dog cart and then employ your friend. And now you got 2 hot dog carts going. As long as that friend follows the recipe and the delivery, you're jamming. You're jamming. That's capitalism, because now the two of them can maybe buy a truck and trailer or a trailer. And now you got a big trailer and 2 satellites. And then you sell those 3 and get a brick and mortar, or you keep them and rent a brick and mortar. That's capitalism. And that brick and mortar is going to take some people. And I'm sorry for shaking the camera. That brick and mortar is going to employ 5, 10 people, and they're going to pay their rent. That's good capitalism right there. Maybe the Bezos of the world is not good capitalism, because it does stop us from socially getting out and shopping. It's just easier I can have my rerun of Friends on and still buy that video camera I need, or Pampers. But it's here, so we deal with it, right? AI is coming. What about the AI? That kind of scares me a little bit. What if AI just starts calling you and tries to sell you something? Now it's not a foreign voice where you can't understand what they're saying. It sounds just like me, man. How you doing, man? I got this new product for you, and I'd really like to sell it to you. And I noticed something on your social media that makes me think you want it. And you're going to sit there and be going, "Oh, this guy's cool. Hi, my name's Jason Verbatim, and I'd like to help you out, Harry." I won't know if that's a computer or if that's somebody else, man. I don't know. Oh my God, we might hit 2,000 likes. That's crazy. I love you guys, because hopefully I can keep getting my but pros outweigh the cons. A lot of guns to move here. That's all right. There's other ways. Look, I'll tell you something. Let me ask you this: if we got rid of guns in America, don't you think some goofball might just take their car and drive through a parade? Oh, no, they did that already. Don't you think some nutso will just, take Molotov cocktails and just throw them into a crowd? So you can take all the guns away you want. There's so many ways of people doing harm to each other that guns are just politicized, if you think about it. If you think about it, it's just politicized. So what if you get, thank you, Stony Man, for the like, I appreciate it. Right, guns aren't the problem. Thank you, Todd, I like it. Oh, whoa, holy cow, 24? I love you guys. It just gives me more energy. Puerto Rico? Are you Borican? I forget my Spanish. I used to know street Spanish. I don't know it. Boricua. Okay, I don't know, but if PR means Puerto Rico, awesome. I had a lot of friends that I made. I had a property maintenance and management company, and I had a lot of, in our area down in South Jersey, we definitely have a lot of Spanish, and I'll tell you what it went through. In the 90s, it was a ton of Irish. After the 90s, maybe to 2005, it was actually like Slovakian. I got to think of, I'm drawing a blank on, but we had a lot of like Eastern Europe here for summer work. And now we have a lot of Mexican, Spanish, Puerto Rican. And I learned, wife is Korean. Awesome. As a matter of fact, my first scoutmaster had the greatest wife. He was a Vietnam vet, but he or a Korean vet, and he married a Korean woman. And my best friend Patrick, he looked Korean, and he had O'Leary was his last name. But I was in a Catholic school, and Patrick O'Leary was like my best friend, and I would go over his house, and that I forget her name. Her name was Korean, but the kids were named more American. But she was full Korean and he was full American. They met during the war and then they came home. And Patrick, for like 3 or 4 years of my, because I left and went to public school, but he was like my best friend. And that woman, I modeled mothers after, including my own. And I'm not trying to anecdote here just because you said that, but it's fabulous. As soon as you said that, I went right to her. And I'm talking, I was like 7, 8, 9, and 10 years old. And I would go over there, and the cuisine was American. And then the next day, the cuisine was Korean because she cooked, and he was a good cook. As a matter of fact, he cooked outdoors all the time, every day, even in the snow. But I went there every day after school, and it was so freaking awesome because before I could understand culture, I was getting it for free, and it wasn't even like I questioned it. You know, I would sit there mesmerized when she would talk to the three children in Korean, and yet Mr. O'Leary knew it too. I didn't, and Mr. O'Leary became my Cub Scout troop leader. So I had him in the family, you know, as a father figure, and then I would go to their house from like we got out of school 2:30. I guess I was there till 5:30. You know, before I was a latchkey kid. Hey, yes, in the comments if you know what a latchkey kid is, and yes, if you were one, please, that would be awesome. I can't. I love you guys. You're getting me. I feel bad because I don't ever care about. But somebody told me that the more likes, the more it gets shared. So. My wife is. We're both. I'll tell you what. My wife is English and Lithuanian. If I dumb that down, but she's at least half Lithuanian. We know that. Probably a little bit of Russian in there. We did some family tree, and we did the 23andMe and all that, or whatever. You do your saliva. My wife is the greatest mom cook that you can find. Because what she can do is not cook French cuisine, but she can go into the refrigerator and the cabinets, pull something out of her butt, and it tastes amazing. It's I don't know what kind of cooking to call it, but she can cook anything that's in there. She doesn't sit around and go, you know, I like that recipe. I'm going to go out there and do that. What's it? Half Mexican, half Puerto Rican. Now, I wanted to say this before I meant to tell you that when guys worked for me, the first thing they would tell me, and you tell me if this isn't true, but it was very hard for Mexican and Puerto Rican to work together. And we had all different crews. We had construction, we had cleanup, we had landscaping, we had moving and demolition. So we had all kinds. We even had parking lots where we would police them, vacuum them, blow them, do the shrubbery, everything. And not once on my cruise did they ever like fist fight or get mad at each other, but they always would tell me when they first got hired or saw the crew, I don't know. I could be wrong. There's a jealousy because Puerto Rican come to U.S. legal. Well, we kind of isn't Puerto Rico under us? I should study that more often too. Uh, I don't know our rules and regulations for where Puerto Rico falls. I do believe you can vote, can't you? Maybe just not for president. I don't know. Again, you gave me something I need to go ahead and look into. But yes, my wife can cook. If it's in the refrigerator, she can cook it and make sure it tastes good. But she doesn't like run around quite looking for. She does like her mama, big mama. She does like her recipes, and she'll follow. We have cards that were written in the 30s and 40s of recipes, so she will follow those. But she doesn't like look in magazines or look at food shows and then try to recreate it. Me, on the other hand, I learned French, I guess French cuisine, French American cuisine. It was a 4 or 5 star restaurant in Cape May, New Jersey, called Top of the Mark, and it was at the Marquis de Lafayette. And I worked there for about 3 years, from dishwashing to getting my checks to getting on the line to then going downstairs and running the Gold Whale. That was more of a bar and I guess buffet, and then you can order like steaks, chops, stuff like that. It was like bar food down there. So I got a lot of experience there. First job was McDonald's as far as working in a kitchen. We opened one down here in South Jersey when I was like 15. And I took the morning shift, and I'd have to get in there and just make tons of eggs in the little, just crack an egg. And I don't know how they do it now, but we had all these little circles, and you just keep cracking eggs in them, and they would cook up. I think it's fake egg now, to be honest. I'm talking 1981 was when I worked there. So I'm a little bit on the older side, but you guys have making me feel very comfortable. I'm glad I've seen some people in the chat that have their opinions and can also see mine, and that's all I care about. I don't care about censoring each other. You know, we don't have to name call each other. We don't have to have TDS or FJB. I don't care about that. All I care about is that we can get into the fabric that a lot of people, the American dream of being an NBA star, a brain surgeon, an at-home mom, and feel safe about it. Groceries are about half as much here with 3 kids. It helps. 3, it will do. Does it have some soda? A lot of Korean food, leafy foods. Yes, except dairy and eggs and stuff. See, I love that you guys are having a chat. That makes me feel good. I get mushy sometimes. I wear it on my sleeve. You know, I just put up couple of little things saying that I like Sally Fields from, Smoking the Bandit. I thought that was like one of my first crushes. Valerie Bertinelli, one of my first crushes, and I just had to share it because I saw, in my news feed different things about them. And I was like, dang, I remember Smoking the Bandit when that came out. That was like badass. And I remember One Day at a Time because, we were watching it. My mom was in between marriages, and I was just a kid with a mom. So I knew what it was like to just take one day at a time that way. So I just thank you. If we get to 3,000 likes, then we'll cut it. Again, this is the book. If there's a PDF online, I don't know. I saw this book. There was a goth girl, and I can't remember her name. I just got on TikTok about 8 months ago because I've only been on TikTok about 8 months. And one of the first things I saw was a girl. She had all this colorful stuff behind her. I'm blown away by this. And she's like looking all goth. And then she starts talking about this. And it even let me go, like I'm waiting for her to talk about like woke stuff or whatever. And it totally blew my mind that here I am watching this girl talk about this book. And I was like, oh, but geez, I got to get this book. Maybe it'll help me. Maybe it'll teach me. And I bought the book. I read it 1.5 times. Plus, I still pick through it just to remind me. But it's The Naked Communist by W. Cleon Skousen. He was a good professor back in, the 40s and 50s. And he brought this book to Congress. And even Congress reviewed it. So if I get taken down just because I'm reviewing this book on here, it is not my beliefs. Do I believe in any of this? I do. But, it's not fully, I'm not trying to brainwash you into it. All I'm telling you is go buy it or go, I wish, if I find, I'll look for a PDF because I'm going to be doing a series on this book. And I got other books too. But I'm going to be doing a series on that. And it's called The Naked Communist. And it has been revised. I bought a version. I think it was revised in 2008 because it was cheaper. I think maybe a revised version of 2018 or 19 is a little more expensive, and it has like 3 more things they added to it of what's going on today. And as I get to the end, all right, oh my God, you guys blew me up. As I get to the end, and then what I'll show you. I'll just show you. These are just bullets, all right? I know it's backwards, but these are just bullets that I read to you, all right? They're just bullets. But after this, they give you like full paragraphs of explaining each bullet. So I will do that 2 to 5. Maybe I should do maybe 4 at a time. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to do it. Then there's stuff that it gives you. Man, I got it all bookmarked. I'll have to find it. Bear with me if I find it real fast. Oh, here we go. What can the ordinary individual do? What can the ordinary individual do? I can do just bullets on this. Suggested for parents. Stay close to your children. Make sure. Okay, they're just bullets. All right. Even if you read it, oh my God, 4,000. Holy cow. Was that you, Todd? Todd, did you just blow this up? Even if you just read the bullets, I'll give you another quick anecdote about my wife. She don't play around. My wife is probably one of the most intelligent mother workers. She runs a kitchen, by the way, for a high school. She's the general manager of a high school kitchen. So she runs the whole shebang there. As a matter of fact, they want to put her where she's got like 3 or 4 other kitchens, and she'll be like a general manager. She worked her way up from just like doing either the cooking or prepping, and I'm very proud of her that way. But she ran the front end of a chain like Acme, Superfresh, A&P type thing. So she's not college, but she's very, very intelligent and very what she sees, and she takes it right there, and in a split second she can make a 98% chance. She doesn't waste time overthinking. And for years and years and years, I would read the paper paragraph through all the way in the comment, and she would read the paper in like 15 minutes, and she would know the middle story. And I was like, I'd always be like, man, that's good. Well, she told me, all you do, and probably you guys know this, all you do is read the front tag, the first tag, the intro line, and you got the whole story. And she's pretty much right. So the bullets, even if you just read the bullets in here, it'll crank your brain up thinking. You might agree with them, you might even disagree with them, but you might also say, how can I meet that halfway? And that's my job. I'm hoping that, the bulk of me is probably, I got a lot of people that might agree with me, especially now that I'm going live, but I've been doing all my other videos for 6 months now, and people kind of get to know. Thank you, Stony Man. Jesus, the people are gullible. I hope you're talking about what mainstream media is doing to these people, because the people on this stream, 98% of them, are pretty damn smart. I'm hoping, Winder, that's a compliment, not to us. But it doesn't bother me because that's your opinion. They're probably just like me and don't. Ta-ta for now. Thank you, Todd. Thank you. What's up, Bobby Q? What's up, Norman? Bama Butterbean. Butterbean. Oh my God. He could hit, man. Butterbean was cool. What's up, singer? I'm a singer too. As a matter of fact, when I'm not doing this, I'm playing. And I got my guitar and my other keyboard over there. So you can see I'm sort of, and I got kittens running around too right now. So anyway, yes, read the bullet points. I hope and pray that the next lives I do are going to just cool guitar player. Same here. I have a couple, but my favorite's a Fender Tele. I have 2 Fender Teles that that's my go-to guitar. I have a couple other brands, but the ones I use to write on. I also had a Washburn that I wrote my last album in, I think it was 2008. The band was Late in April, and the album was called Rain Down. You can find Late in April on Reverb Nation. It's still up there. You can see some of my songs. But I was a singer-songwriter, plus I played in, for almost 20 years, a Beach Boys cover band where I would play rhythm guitar, background sing, lead sing, piano, keyboard, sequencer, all that stuff. So yes, I've done the music thing as my second job, and I was very blessed. Anyway, all that said, I will make sure you know that this is when I do lives, I'm also going to do other lives, of course. But if you see this, I hope I hope you guys tune in again. I hope you spread the word that I got love. I got love. I got love. I got love, man. And I am a God fearing man. I try to be the best husband and father I can be. And I do want to, I want to protect the freedom to be us, the freedom to be you. That's it. Constitution, Bill of Rights. And if something needs to be changed, we do it right. I want transparency up in that government. Transparency, man. On every level, I want transparency. If I talk to somebody on the street, I want transparency. It's kind of like, who's in here? All right, street vibes. Me and you are sitting in class and we're running. We're running for class president. Me and Street. All right, I'm on one side, you're on one side, and we don't know, but they're all going to take a little card, a little index card. And this is 8th grade, man. All right, and I'm running against you, and you're running against me. And everybody in class, you can't peek. They're all writing down, it's either Street or Big Cat. Street or Big Cat. And they go into a box. And then the teacher takes the box and goes back in the cloakroom, comes back out and says, Big Cat won. I expect Street to say to the teacher, okay, there's only 41 of us in here, 42, whatever. You didn't say it was a tie, so do you mind if I recount them so I can see that Big Cat won? If your teacher said, no, you have to trust me, that's not right. That's not right. So that's what I call a real country that can do that. That's hard to find. And I think we were the last place to do it. But if you can cheat, you're gonna. The bigger the group, and the more access that you could possibly do a little tweak or something here and there, it's going to happen. It's human nature. So what you need is, in my opinion, the ability that when you turn 18 to vote is the most sacred thing. The most sacred. And I guarantee you, if I voted and the other person on the other side won, as long as I was cool with it, knowing everything's safe, free, and fair, then I would support that other person. But it's not even the voting. It's behind the votes. It's what are people doing up in Congress? What's our president doing? These people in Ohio, I don't understand for the life of me. If I was president of the United States, I would be there at least on the peripheral, not definitely breathing in the stuff, but I'd be 20 miles outside Ohio immediately. I wouldn't send my vice president, or I wouldn't send the Department of Transportation booty boot. No. I'm semi-retired, to be honest. I work in the summer. But, Street, there's no way in God's glory, if something happens on my turf, I'm not showing up. Now, granted, you can't bring the bulletproof vehicles up on that fire and start shooting little squirt guns out to help put the fire out. But the people would know I'm right there. And if that's not happening in our capital, but you got them across the river, across the pond doing other things, and I don't care about timing. All I care about is if something happened to my people, my family, and there ain't one of you watching me right now that wouldn't choose your family first. There's not one of you. And you're insane if you don't. And if you were president, you would consider your country, president of any country, if you were on the right side of life, that's your family. And you get back on your beautiful jet airplane and you take 4 hours to even say, hey, look, I got to get back overseas. All right? I got to get back. But you guys mean a lot to me. And we're going to figure this out. I might only be here for 4 days, or 4 hours even, or a half a day. But I'm here, and I got eyes on. And I just appointed this group that while I'm gone, they're going to answer to me, and they're going to direct everything. But that didn't happen. I have no problem with a president going over the pond to represent goodness. I don't know what he's doing over there, so I can't judge what he's doing. I barely watch that because it just gets me mad. I pray for Ukraine, Russia, Poland, Germany. I pray for all of them that they just stop and get out of that. I really do. I pray for all of them that they just stop and get out, but it's above my pay grade. I couldn't go over there and swing a deal because I don't know. All I know is this is, I'll just say this one little paragraph. From what I can understand, forget everything but NATO encroaching on the border of Russia. I believe that a certain man in Russia said, if you do this with NATO and try to get these people involved with NATO, we will go to war. And I will take back part of what we used to have. And then NATO comes in and keeps saying to do it. And he had enough of it, and he said, well, this is what I said I was going to do. That don't make it right or wrong, but I can't follow it because so many things happened, whether it's the computer, whether it's, hey, I gave him the billion and then I was on the plane and got out of there. I just don't trust much of what's going on over there, nor am I, it's above my pay grade. I just pray for the people. I just pray for the people. I pray for the children that are getting hurt. I pray for the people that are, losing their homes, their land, or dying, or losing the people they love. And that goes on both sides. I just want it to end. And I want the clock to rewind. The border stays the same. They do what they do. They would do, but it could be a proxy war. It could be a distraction. With quid pro quo, and I don't know. I have respect all, fear none. Well, Divine. I'm sorry, Dab. So okay, I'm going to have to research it and know it better. I don't want to take sides in a war that's not inside our country. I want our Americans to start loving one another. And I don't believe we should be out there. I believe we should have no war that we're involved in unless there's a reason that's clear cut of why it's going on. I believe the last time that we literally, which I think there was a couple little faux pas in that too, but in World War II, I believe that was the last war we fought boots on the ground for real reasons, the right reason. I believe after that, the people that make boots or sell tires or whatever, the war machine, I believe they saw that, gosh, we make a lot of money when there's a war. Gosh, we do. And if it just takes bodies, so what? Street, I'm with you on that. How do you expose them? Here, the thing that happened with Scott Adams, I think, I think he fell on the sword. I don't know if he did it so he could just retire because he did it 7 days a week. I never saw him miss a day other than having COVID. So I think he did something that. But when Americans try to help Americans, you call it socialism. No, I didn't, Big. Come on, man. You're mind reading. Come on. I don't care about it. You can help people. But when you help somebody, let's just say person A and person B, A being the government, B being or C, okay? C is down on their luck. A is the government. A says, we just voted in this law to take care of, because we see why you're down, C. Letter C. All right. We see why you're hurting. So we created this situation over here that really helps you and maybe some of the periphery around you that have problems. We're going to do that. But then you got B and D that go, uh-huh, all right. And then they play the system. That's all I'm against. I don't care if we can figure out a way to have health care the right way, to make sure Medicaid is good, to make sure we got retirement funds in there, make sure people that aren't eating My goodness, could you imagine how powerful this country would be if we took care of the homeless and the veterans and the people that are sick up here on drugs? This would be a powerful nation. We're already powerful. But imagine if we had a track record of people. Whatever your choice is on healthcare, and maybe we could solve it here, maybe we can't. But I am up and my ears are open to legitimate plans. I just believe that everything got so corrupt by now, uh, we're in trouble. It needs to be exposed and regurgitated and rebuilt. I don't think America has to be rebuilt, but I do believe that if all of a sudden, point blank, our people up in office just turned around and went, boom, let's help Americans, like across the board. Let's settle all the problems we're having. I think that would be powerful. Right now, I think there's too many neglections of all different things, whether it be race, mental issues, drugs, I don't care, all the way up to property lines. I don't care. We need to go internal and fix our bridges from people to people, not just bridges from this land to that land. And the only way you can do it is with transparency and love. You can't do it any other way. You have to have people that we vote for put in office that do what we want. And if that happens, we would be one of the most we are sought after, but look at the border. What happened? None of us would let people in our fences or just let anybody walk in our house and sit. But if you're walking down the street and you got somebody that's hurting or your friend calls you and says, "Can I?" Well, of course we'll help people. I want to help everybody all around the world, but all I can do is take care of my family, my neighbors, and my friends first and foremost. You know what I would do? I'd put a moratorium on the wall for 2 years. I mean, on coming in. I would say it would have to be so proven that we need it, not just like cattle coming across and going into no. But I would put the wall up, and for 2 years have a moratorium, and I would have an outside source start understanding the economics of our country, and then be able to turn a dial on and let people in. I'm not saying if somebody's found on the road beaten up and they said we're scared. That's not what we're seeing here. We're seeing people wearing Nikes with nice sweatshirts, sweatpants, just walking in. And I'm sorry, that part I disagree with, because this is my country, that's their country. Germany has their country. You should be proud to be where you stand and where you were born. So put a moratorium on it, and then you see, hey, we're down in nursing. Well, one of the things you could help out with is put out the feelers and get people that if we need nursing, if we need labor, fine. If we need doctors, fine. If we need drivers, truck drivers, whatever. After 2 years, we start understanding what's coming through the gates. And then we enhance ourselves, right, to come through. Now, for the other people that just want to do it the way we did it in New York and you came up on the island, you get over there. Wait, hold on, I'll answer that, Big Ruck. The way you used to come over to the island, that was okay then. That was cool, but a lot of weirdness came in there too. But I'm not saying that we can't develop. If we can, let's put it this way. I'm babbling now. If we can put military bases on every country in the world, pretty much, then why can't we put next to that military base a building that you can go and seek asylum, seek education, and before you come here, you figure out what is I can garden. I'm agriculturally sound. So what are we going to do? We're going to train you there, but you're going to learn our country's ways. I'm not saying that's even the answer. I'm just saying if I was, sitting around with a couple beers, that's one thing I would talk about, is if we can put a base all around the world, let's put an asylum campus around the world where people can come, feel safe, and we can vet them over. Maybe they stay there for 2 years and they get educated, learn the ins and outs of Americanism. And by the time they get here, they've spent 2 years, they were fed well, maybe they work on What if we could do stuff at that military base where they're making products and they're all doing the thing that I mean, there's just so many ways that you could figure out. Oh my God, 4.6 likes. God, I love you guys. I'm talking. I'm just talking. That's for another. I love talking about that stuff. How to solve problems, man. That's why 420 is great. You can have a case of beer and two guys will wind up maybe punching each other, but have two 420s, man, and you're solving the world or playing one hell of a hockey game on Nintendo or what? Oh, I'm saying Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. So the base ruined the environment. I can't disagree with that. There's a lot of people that hate America. I get it. Where do I start? The foundation. This teaches me that maybe 50%, I'm not going to say 100%, let's just say 50% is born of this book. That opens my eyes. That makes me want to share this book. And the more you got, and I wish I was promoting this book and getting paid. I'm not. I found it on TikTok and now I'm spreading it on TikTok. So I'm going to spread it on, other areas. But somebody read this book or somebody say they read this book, then talk to me. That is when I know that what I'm doing is the right thing. We can have a discussion. All right. I love you guys. I will see you on the flip, and I will replay this so that other people could see it. I'll do a replay on it. Thank you for the love, the roses, the diamonds, whatever, the likes. Just filled my heart, man. Just filled my heart. Anthony Beaver, I'm sorry you're in late. I hope you come up to the next one. All right. Don't forget to kiss, love, hug a veteran, too, because they do it for you.